Hello everyone! Welcome to Itona Couples channel. So now I'm going to discuss the circulatory system. The function of circulatory system is to transport nutrients, oxygen, and hormones throughout our body and carry waste products away from cells. To do this, circulatory system works with other body systems to function effectively. We have three primary components of the circulatory system, and these are the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. The function of heart is to pump the blood throughout the body. The function of blood is to carry the required materials throughout the body. And the function of blood vessels is to carry the blood throughout the body, or these are the tubes where the blood flows. We have three types of blood vessels. These are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Each of these blood vessels has distinct function. Arteries carry blood away from the heart to other parts of the body. Veins carry blood return to the heart. Capillaries carry blood between arteries and veins, and these are the site where the exchange of substances between the blood and interstitial fluid happen. So now, let us proceed to the structure of the three types of blood vessels. As you can see in the picture, the walls of arteries, capillaries, and veins consist of epithelial tissue surrounded by smooth muscle or tissue and connective tissue. Due to the heart's pumping action, the blood in arteries is under higher pressure, which helps to ensure that blood flows only in one direction, and that toward the capillaries. The blood in veins is under lower pressure because the main force that pushes blood through the veins comes from the skeletal muscle tissue. Most veins contain valves, as you can see here. Why is that so? Because valves allow blood to flow only toward the heart, or these valves prevent blood from flowing backward or from flowing in the wrong direction. Some capillaries are so narrow, as you can see in the picture. That's why blood cells must flow through them one at a time. This structure of capillaries enables the nutrients and oxygen to diffuse easily out of the blood, and the diffusion of waste products into the blood. The blood from the heart here flows through arteries to capillaries to veins and then back to the heart. The components of blood. Plasma and cellular components are the components of blood. 55% of blood consists of solution or plasma that contains water, dissolved salts, plasma proteins, transported substances such as nutrients, metabolic waste, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, and hormones. And 45% of blood contains cellular components such as red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Now let us proceed to the three types of blood cells. Okay, as you can see here, these are red blood cells, the red disc, white blood cells, the yellow spheres. Platelets are irregular and smaller red fragments. This one. Okay, these are the platelets. Red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes. Carry oxygen from the lungs to all the tissues of the body. Each red blood cell contains millions of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein that stores oxygen for delivery to the cells. Why is hemoglobin a good transporter of oxygen? Because it contains iron or heme group. Oxygen molecules bind to the iron or heme group of the hemoglobin molecule. White blood cells are also known as leukocytes. The function of white blood cells is to fight against infection and prevent the growth of abnormal cells or cancer. Platelets are irregular and small red fragments of blood cells. Its function is to stop the bleeding and seal the wound. If you accidentally cut your finger, the platelets attached to the site where the blood vessel is damaged, the platelets break apart and release substances called clotting factors, which lead to the formation of a protein called fibrin. Okay, this one. The yellow one, okay, these are the fibrin threads. Yan. The blood cells such as red blood cells, white blood cells, and additional platelets. We have three pathways of blood flow such as pulmonary, coronary, and systemic circulation. The movement of blood in pulmonary circulation is from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. In coronary circulation is through the tissues of the heart only. In systemic circulation is from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. Again, as I've said a while ago, we have three pathways of blood flow, but in my picture, I only have two pathways of blood flow. So let's recognize the parts. Capillaries of upper body, capillaries of lower body, capillaries of left lung, capillaries of right lung, pulmonary arteries here, pulmonary veins, system of veins, system of arteries, and our heart. So, in the pulmonary circulation, oxygen-depleted blood, anyway, when we say oxygen-depleted blood, it means that the blood contains a small amount of hemoglobin. On the other hand, if we say oxygen-rich blood, it means that the blood has large amount of hemoglobin. So, in the pulmonary circulation, oxygen-depleted blood flows from the right side of the heart through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs. In the lungs, blood collects oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. After collecting oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide in the lungs, the blood now becomes oxygen-rich. Okay, the pulmonary veins here then return the oxygen-rich blood to the left side of the heart. To the left side of the heart. Again, the pulmonary circulation is from the heart to the lungs to the lungs and back to the heart. Okay. From the right side of the heart to the left side of the heart. Again, the blood, which is the oxygen depleted, flows from the right side of the heart through the pulmonary arteries into the lungs. And blood in the lungs collects oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. After collecting oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide in the lungs, the blood now becomes oxygen-rich. The pulmonary veins collects oxygen-rich blood to the left side of the heart. That is pulmonary circulation. Now proceed to the systemic circulation. The oxygen-rich blood flows from the left side of the heart through aorta. So this is the left side, through the aorta. The arrow here, through the aorta, which supplies oxygen-rich blood to all parts of the body. From the aorta, oxygen-rich blood travels through the branching arteries of the upper body of capillaries and lower body of the capillaries. Okay, in the capillaries, oxygen diffuses out of the blood and carbon dioxide diffuses in. The blood now becomes oxygen depleted. The oxygen depleted blood returns to the right side of the heart through the veins. Again, the systemic circulation is from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. The anatomy of the heart. If you want to know the size of your heart, just look at your fist, just like mine. So this is the size of my heart. Our heart beats an average of 70 times per minute. Our heart is a muscular pump located between our lungs. So, in the picture, you can see that there are different parts of the heart. So, let's recognize them. So this is aorta, left pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, left atrium, aortic valve, atrioventricular valves, left ventricle, cardiac muscle tissue, vein from lower body, vein from upper body, right pulmonary artery, pulmonary valve, right atrium, pericardium, and right ventricle. So as I've said a while ago that the different valves such as atrioventricular valves, aortic valve, and pulmonary valve, these valves will prevent blood from flowing backwards or from flowing in the wrong direction. Our human heart has 4 chambers. The 2 upper chambers, such as right and left atrium, the plural form of atrium is atria. The function of atria is to receive blood returning to the heart. The other 2 lower chambers are right and left ventricle. The plural form of ventricle is ventricles. The function of ventricles is to pump blood out of the heart. Oxygen-rich blood flows from the lungs through pulmonary veins to the left atrium and proceeds to the left ventricle. From here, blood is pumped by the heart through the aortic valve and proceed to aorta and to the rest of the body, where blood delivers oxygen and nutrients to the cells. In return, oxygen-depleted blood flows from the cells through veins of upper body and lower body to the right atrium. From right atrium, blood is then pumped into the right ventricle, and from here, blood is pumped through pulmonary valve and pulmonary arteries to the lungs. After collecting oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide in the lungs, blood flows back to the heart through pulmonary veins and flows to the left atrium. The cycle repeats. Thank you everyone for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, like and share, and see you on our next video. Bye everyone!